And welcome back for final thoughts. Okie dokie. Oh, I just like to take a break. That was pretty grueling, that particular filming. But I got through it, and now I just want to talk about it. You know, and to the number one thing everybody talks about with the Year of the Dragon, just how cruel and harsh it is. And you guys just saw an example of that. If you play smart, everything is fine. Jen was playing smart. She has not had to suffer any really bad losses. I, however, on the other hand, was playing very, very poorly, and I've suffered some big losses, and it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. I don't think there's going to be any way I'm going to catch up at all. You know, I made bad moves from the start, I guess. I'd have to go back and review. If anybody who's really good at the game would like to tell me what I did horribly wrong, that would be fantastic, because we're still, I'll be honest, we're still learning the game. And it's weird, too. I mean, I played both sides of this. I should have been able to do well for both. I was not purposely saying, hey, I'll tank with one of these so I could show. I mean, I played well and I played poorly. So clearly I am capable of playing well because I played well for Jen. But anyway, that's just, I don't know, that represents something about my split personality, I suppose, which is no doubt being reinforced by doing these play 2-for-1 videos. But long story short, what I wanted to say about it's such a harsh, unforgiving game, I don't really think that's a fair complaint. Because you just have to be smart. And it's not that. You have to be conservative. If you take risks, they will bite your hand off. Play smart, prepare, always have an out, and you're going to be okay. You might not win, but you will not get, raked over the coals like I'm getting here. Where I totally forgot about, I totally stopped thinking about the doctor. I would not have lost 3 people here. I would have been paying a little bit more attention, or I would have been smart enough to set up so there were people who I would lose who I didn't care about losing. Anyway, though, actually, there's another thing I should mention in a 2-player version of this, and that's apparently widely known. I don't know if it's true or not, but this kind of proved it out. The opening of the game is arguably scripted. That if player 1 does X and Y when you're choosing the first 2 people, player 2 should choose Y and Z. Because if you don't, player 1 or player 2 will lose the game right there. And in fact, I didn't do that. Basically, I ceded first player to Jen too long in this. Arguably, and that might have been one of the seeds of my downfall. I let her have it turn after turn after turn, and maybe that's a problem, maybe it wasn't, but still, I know it's definitely something you can plan for. It's definitely something you can strategize around. I mean, this game is nothing but long-term strategy. There's a little bit of randomness every turn with the way that the tiles come out, but if you're in first place, there's no randomness for you because you can always do what you want. If you're in second place on the turn order track, then the main thing you have to do is always ensure that there's 3 or 4 things that are good for you, because there's no way all of them will be disallowed. And so it's tougher playing when you are in second place on the turn track. You have to play a lot smarter, which is why you have to fight hard to keep it. And that's the argument. Don't fight hard for second place. But still, I don't think that hurts the game in any way, shape, or form. It just makes it part of the game. It just makes turn order in this game so incredibly important. You must always fight for it tooth and nail, even at the expense of fighting for other stuff. And I guess that would be a cautionary tale I just played out for you because I didn't do that here. But anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The gameplay is really smooth. It's really sharp. It's very smart. It makes you feel smart. It demands the most of you, and if you bring your A game, you'll do very, very well. And that's why we very much enjoy in the Year of the Dragon. I think that pretty much wraps it up. I'll leave it there and wish you guys all a very pleasant day. Hopefully this has answered questions for you about Year for the Dragon. And happy 50th video! Congratulations, this is my 50th video. It's too bad, I'd be celebrating 2 things. If I had done this about 2 months ago, I would have actually filmed this in the Year of the Dragon. But as it is, it's now the Year of the Snake. But, whatever. Close enough. But my 50th video, Year of the Dragon, a fantastic game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feedback's appreciated. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.